Major League Soccer is no longer simply a retirement home for players on their way down. American football has exploded in terms of popularity, turbocharged by the arrival of Lionel Messi, and is attracting more and more players with Premier League experience.
It's not hard to see why Messi is a key selling point for stars considering the incredible skill he pulled off in Inter Miami's season opener against Real Salt Lake. As the 2024 season gets underway in Miami this week, Sun Sport takes a look at some former Prem players making a living stateside.
Luis Suarez, Inter Miami. A Liverpool great, Suarez has joined the Barcelona tribute act at David Beckham's Inter Miami, alongside Messi, Sergio Busquets and Jordi Alba. The club is even managed by former Barca boss Tata Martino. Read more in FOOTBALLFISHY story. I'm an ex-City star who scored 340 goals in ONE season, but now I own a Chippy Power-Up. Get £40 in free football bet builder bets when you stake £10 with Paddy Power. This year is Suarez's first in MLS as the South Florida side look to back up their first ever trophy, last season's Leagues Cup, with a tilt at winning the MLS Cup in 2024.
He starred alongside Messi and co during Inter Miami's 2-0 win over Real Salt Lake but failed to get on the score sheet. Hugo Lloris, Los Angeles FC. The French World Cup winner, 37, is also gearing up for his first season in MLS.
Lloris made an emotional exit from Tottenham in December, having failed to secure a move away from North London last summer. Most read in football. Alves guilty. Dani Alves jailed after being convicted of raping woman in nightclub bathroom. RIP made, ex-AFC Wimbledon star, 34, dead as boyhood club chief shares emotional statement. Green light. Ratcliffe leaves door open for Greenwood to make controversial. Man United return ZZ top jobs. Zidane will only return to management for 3 jobs as Bayern hunt new boss. How to get free bets on football. LAFC, who are part owned by Hollywood star Will Ferrell, joined MLS in 2018 and won last season's playoffs.
Victor Wanyama, CF Montreal. The Kenyan midfielder made his name in English football with Southampton and Tottenham before heading to MLS. H is just taking the PS, say fans as they spot savage Messi's disrespectful skill against injured opponent. Wanyama, who starred for Celtic before moving to the Premier League, now has more than 100 appearances for Canadian side CF Montreal.
While Montreal have not threatened to win much in MLS, Wanyama did win the Canadian Cup in 2021. Christian Benteke, DC United. The former Aston Villa, Liverpool and Crystal Palace striker could be unplayable on his day in the Premier League, but also went through notorious dry spells in front of goal.
Benteke joined DC United in 2022 when former England captain Wayne Rooney was in charge. The Belgian scored a stunning bicycle kick against Charlotte in April last year and took part in the annual MLS All-Star Game in Washington.
DeAndre Yedlin, Inter Miami. The American international right-back has gone from lining up behind Jeff Hendrick or Jose Perez at Steve Bruce's Newcastle to sharing a flank with Messi in South Florida. Quite the rise for the fullback, who also played for Sunderland and, very briefly, Tottenham during his time in England.
The 30-year-old started his career in MLS with Seattle Sounders before crossing the Atlantic to spend 7 years in Europe. Yedlin spent a season at Galatasaray before making the move to Inter Miami. Like Suarez, Yedlin featured against Real Salt Lake but lasted the whole game.
Inter Miami 2-0 Real Salt Lake. David Beckham's biggest season yet at Inter Miami got off to a fine start as Lionel Messi inspired their win over Real Salt Lake. Beckham flew into Florida for the curtain raiser of the 2024 Major League Soccer season, watching his star-studded side alongside Hollywood icon Will Smith among other celebrities.
The former England captain needed a performance to live up to the glitz and hype ahead of the game. Fireworks shot above the Chase Stadium as Beckham introduced new signing Luis Suarez ahead of kickoff.
While Messi did not score the opening goal, he was still putting on a show, playing with swagger and a smile. Having hit the bar trying to score directly from a corner, the World Cup winner set up Robert Taylor to grab the first after 39 minutes with a fine through ball.
Then the 8-time Ballon d'Or winner really started showing off. Messi drove towards goal but found the injured Andrew Brody sprawled out in his path. Whereas for anyone else the move would end there, the Argentine showed supreme touch to lift the ball over Brody, tiptoe around him and get a shot off.
There was a sign of the new stateside circus around Messi, who was stalked from the touchline by his own personal bodyguard, as he shared a hug with Smith in the pitchside hospitality seats as he headed down the tunnel. Miami, who won their maiden trophy following Messi's arrival last season, are looking to claim the MLS Cup, effectively the league title, for the first time in the club's history.
With their capture of Messi followed by the arrival of former Barcelona teammates Suarez, Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets, Beckham's boys are clear favourites with the bookies to storm MLS this season. There were a few mistakes from the hosts dotted throughout the second half which went unpunished to prove that Stardust alone won't get them across the line.
But on occasion it does. After a second half on the back foot, a tired-looking Messi and Suarez burst back into life to combine and set up Diego Gomez to score a stunning second with a scintillating break from the halfway line. Seconds later Suarez was denied his first goal for the club when Zach McMath made a stunning near-post save from the Uruguayan's close-range strike which came at the end of another Messi break.
The Argentine then almost got his own name on the score sheet with a seamless run from the right, before seeing his effort stopped. At full-time the fireworks went up again into the South Florida sky and Beckham will be praying they can continue all season long.
Teemu Pukki, Minnesota United. The Finnish striker has swapped Norfolk for the Twin Cities on the banks of the Mississippi River in Minnesota. Pucky joined Minnesota United in June last year after scoring 88 goals in more than 200 appearances for the Canaries in the Premier League and Championship.
The 33-year-old has a fine strike rate of 10 goals in just 14 MLS appearances. Brian Oviedo, Real Salt Lake. The former Everton and Sunderland man returned to former club FC Copenhagen after leaving English football, but has been with Real Salt Lake since 2022. A versatile left-back, Oviedo scored twice in 60 Premier League appearances but is yet to register a goal in 41 outings for Salt Lake.
Read more. Son STORIESOH Maya. Love Island fave Maya Jama smokes roll-up ciggy with rap icon boyfriend Stormzy scratch that I was so excited by £400,000 lottery scratch card when I left it in the shop. He begins his season with the biggest task of all, up against Messi in Miami in front of Beckham. Oviedo was an unused substitute in the game against Inter Miami.